everyone, welcome back to another Sims 4 video today. Buckle in, strap in, because we got a lot to talk about. Yesterday we had a gameplay trailer for the new For Rent pack, which gave us a little inside scoop as what it's like as to be a property owner in The Sims, as what life is like to be a property owner in The Sims. So I'm super excited to do a full deep dive with you about everything that the trailer brought. So let's go look at the new features coming with the For Rent pack as a property owner. And I do want to say that I am using the Sims community website. They are perfect for any news that is coming to The Sims, whether it's, you know, Sims 4 news or Sims 5 news. They are great when it comes to basically news in general. Anything you need to know, just go to the Sims community. Anyways, we're going to be using that website today, but I'm super excited to give you my thoughts and opinions and also talk to you about the new Sims 4 pack. Okay, so here we are at the website where it basically gives us the list of all the stuff that we are going to be able to do within the new pack. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is the actual property management of getting your properties together. Now, as you can see on the side of this house lot trait thing that we always have, like the house info, we have unit configurations, and I'm pretty sure that you can name these as well, which is really, really cool. I don't know if you can pick the colors. That would be kind of cool if you could like pick the color of the outline. Probably not the biggest of deals, but you basically get to set the unit configurations. So you can say that this will be, you know, maybe apartment 1, and then this one is like apartment 2. So you can have those options to make it as big or as small as you want. You can also have shared like areas as well, like a common space, you know, like in Discovery University, we have like the dorms, but we also have like the common space where everyone goes to, you know, do their homework or make food or whatever it is that they're doing. Also gives you a unit value and the unit dimensions. And this is perfect to kind of get an idea of how big and how expensive it is. So you can kind of map out the pricings from there. Super excited to see that in game and see how it exactly works. It's hard to kind of see how everything works when it's just in the trailers, but like once we get that gameplay like live stream, we should be able to see a little bit more. And the other thing I wanted to add is I think it's 6 units that you can have. Unless you're using cheats, then you can have a little bit more, is from what I've heard from our sim gurus. So, and I think it was Sim Guru Nova that said you could have more than 6 if you're using cheats, or someone said something like that. So the next thing that brings us up into the designate shared spaces. So as you can see, you still have those unit configurations, but on this window, you can hit shared, our home, and pick the different options for what that unit will be. So you can make this space perfect for, you know, maybe it's a shared like common like, you know, living room or whatever like that. They made it important to note that it is good to keep up a happy vibe in the property as a property owner, because it helps with your units and stuff like that, and it makes people want to live there. You don't want to not have people live in your properties because then they're not going to live in them. But this brings me into the next portion of keeping your tenants in your properties, because we can set our tenant rules and check your rating. Now this, guys, I'm so excited for this, because listen, you can now decide the rent per day. It'll tell you the max rent for the certain units. So if you did want to charge 117 simoleons for this unit, that would be the max rent. So you can't just set it to be 100,000 simoleons. I know that's probably what we were going to do, was try and see how much money we could make as a property owner. Unfortunately, The Sims does give us a max rent for those units, which kind of makes sense. You don't want to charge too much, but you don't want to charge too little either. The other thing is you could choose your lease length. This is something that I was very worried about when the pack was announced, because I wasn't sure how they were exactly doing this, but it seems to me that they have sort of read my mind in the sense of making it to where you can choose their lease length. So if you wanted to do it for a season, maybe you play with 4-week seasons, you could set it to 28 days. And then once that season's done, that's their lease agreement. Or you can just set it for as little as you want or as long as you want. So it really gives you a range of what you can do with it. It also has unit ratings as well. So like the size of it, the amenities, environment, and maintenance, which is why you want to make it very enjoyable for your tenants. You want them to have a decent sized unit, you know, nothing, you know, don't make it too small, but you don't have to make it too big either. Just make sure that your Sims can be comfortable in it. You have good amenities as well. So maybe, you know, you include a pool or like just, you know, some shared spaces within the apartment, that the environment is good, that it's not, you know, super dirty and stuff like that, and that you're up on your maintenance as well. You can also choose unit rules. So for this one, it says no social events, no loud noises, maximum occupancy, no trash overload, which is probably a good one, and no ghosts. No, you can't kick the ghosts out. They don't do anything wrong. We learned that from my paranormal video. They just kind of chilled there. They didn't do anything. They were fine. They were fine. I'm not gonna kick my ghosts out. They can live. They can pay. As long as they pay rent, I'm fine with the ghost staying there. So here it says, you know, you'll be able to maintain your building as a whole in The Sims 4 rent via a for lease sign. The sign is right here. It's kind of like a real estate sign. Basically, this is where you control all of the landlord, property owner, management stuff is on that sign. The nicer you make the units and the better job you do of maintaining the building when things go wrong, the higher your rating will be. Buildings with high ratings are more desirable to potential tenants, resulting in more tenant applications when you're trying to fill vacancies. So it's very important that you make sure that you have a good apartment, because if you don't, you're not going to get as many tenants to apply, and you probably aren't going to be able to make as much money. So here's where we come to the review tenant applications. Once you make your units, once you have them set, you know, active, or however it is, however you set them, I think just once you build them, set the units, they're good to go. As we can see here, it's a 5-star unit rating. They show they show the unit. So it's like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and the rent per day is 65 simoleons a day. You can basically go in and choose what Sims you want to live with them. So like for this one, this household has 1 young adult. They just need like the 1 bedroom, and their rent cap is 667 simoleons. I would say that's probably either for the week or for the day. I'm not exactly sure on that, but you'll be able to basically pick the families that best work within your units. And you know, obviously the more family members in the household, you'll probably get a little bit more money, but you also want to make sure that your apartment building can occupy them comfortably, because you don't want them to get mad, because if they get mad, there's a chance that they can revolt against you, and you don't want a bunch of Sims mad at you. The other thing is you can set the rent for all units or individual units. So if you wanted to, you could set, you know, all your units to a certain price, or you can set them individually, which is nice, because if you have like the same like apartments, I've seen a lot of builds over the years where it's like the same, you know, either single family homes, but it's like 3 of them on a lot. You can just charge the same amount for them if they're the exact same and not have to really worry about that. But if they're different styles, or one smaller, one bigger, you can go in and individually set those rents. Now, the other thing is maintaining your building. We talked about how important it is to maintain your building, but what does that mean as a property owner? Basically means that you're gonna have to clean the apartments if they get too dirty. You're gonna have to make sure that the property itself is maintained well. If people forget their rent, they forget to set their rent, you can come in and take their stuff. You can use this little machine here. I don't know what it's called, and I don't know where I can get it, but you can basically repo your Sims stuff. Well, not your Sims, but other Sims stuff. You can also help your Sims get back on track as well. Let's say you had one Sim that was, you know, it was a little dirty. Their apartment was a wreck, and, you know, they can't make ends meet. But you can come in there and help them, give them a second chance by saying, you know what, if you clean this apartment, I'll let you stay. And as long as you pay your rent and keep it clean, we won't have an issue. The other thing is they'll have to fix electrical problems as well. I think there's also a couple new items in The Sims where it's like obviously the electric panel, and then I think there's like a water heater system as well. You also have to help with the broken appliances and mold and insect infestations, which I'm not excited for the mold part. I mean, is there a way to like turn that off? Because that death just looks nasty. I don't know if you guys seen the death. I think we've all seen the mold death, but it looks actually disgusting. I can't. This goes into my next thing of the evict disruptive tenants or help them out. The only thing harsher than robbing your tenants of their belongings, throwing them out on the streets to fend for themselves. If you've given a tenant many chances to cough up the rent and they still haven't paid up, eviction may be your only option. You can also evict tenants who trash the unit and don't follow the tenant rules you've laid out, which is the other thing I was talking about earlier in the video, where you can either decide to help them or evict them. You know, in the long run, if you help them out, they might be more open to paying you. I'm not exactly sure, you know, how the Sims, you know, think, but I would assume that maybe if you gave them the chance to, maybe if you gave them a second chance, they would be more willing to help you out with the rent, because you've helped them with their apartment, essentially. That is pretty much it to the actual overview itself. I know it seemed short, but we got a ton of information about the new gameplay, so I can't complain. about the gameplay trailer. The gameplay trailer was very nice to watch, learned a lot, and I'm quite excited for this next pack to come out. Don't get too hyped. I mean, I am hyped for this pack. I will say though, it looks like they actually took their time on this, and I am so excited to see the gameplay live stream and just the other simmers who have early access so we can see the actual pack, you know, in a couple of weeks, because it comes out December 7th. It's November 17th today. So that's not too far away. We're halfway through November, which is crazy because it feels like January just started. But going back to the gameplay trailer, I am super excited to be able to actually have my Sims be property managers, have another way of gameplay, but also you don't have to be a property manager. You can set other Sims up to be property managers. And I think you can still like use the For Rent pack like as like a Sim, like you can rent out other like houses and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's what they also said, that it is completely, you know, versatile within other neighborhoods as well. Like you don't just have to be in the New World. You can, you know, build your houses in Willow Creek or San Sequoia or Chestnut Ridge. You can do it in Windenburg. I mean, you can do it in all the worlds that, you know, have lots on them to like build houses and stuff like that. So it will be very interesting. My other thing is that I'm thinking that maybe you can make a hotel because there's the lease length. So if you wanted to, you could make like your units for maybe like 2 or 3 days and then have like your next Sim come in, although that would be a lot to like manage because you'd have to consistently have, you know, your Sims checking the review applications and move them in. But you could also do Airbnbs. Maybe, you know, you have a storyline where you got an Airbnb, they come in for a week, live there, and then they go out. So there's so many new ways to play The Sims now with this pack. I'm so excited to see it. I am still trying to keep a level head on this because, you know, we haven't seen the gameplay live stream, and I haven't really seen a lot of creators play with the mods. I don't think early access is out yet. I think it'll come out, you know, closer to when the release date is. I gotta say, with the gameplay trailer and the initial trailer that we got, I'm super excited. I think this pack will be one of the top packs for The Sims just because they've been doing really well at their packs lately. I don't know what it is that they're doing over there, but it seems like they're listening to us now than in the past where they haven't really listened to us and just like release packs. So I'm glad to see that they're actually taking their time and, you know, going through the packs, making sure that they're listening to our, you know, suggestions and stuff like that within the game. And I think they've done a really good job with this new pack and just the amount of time and effort and all the features that we're getting with this. I mean, I'm glad they waited because I know with City Living, we were like, oh, can we now rent out properties? Like, are we going to be able to, you know, make our own apartments and stuff like that? So I know a lot of Simmers are like, I wish this came out, you know, earlier, but honestly, I'm kind of glad that they waited a little bit to come out with this because it just allows them to be able to put more time and make sure that all the features work. Even with horses, I know we wanted horses like right when The Sims came out. We were expecting horses with cats and dogs, didn't come out. Super glad they waited though, because the Horse Ranch pack is still magnificent. I still love the pack, and I know there was little bugs, but that's expected when a new pack comes out, but now it's pretty much playable. So there's no issues with that. So that being said, I am very excited for this new pack to come out, but make sure you keep a level head. Don't get too excited until the pack actually comes out. Make sure you watch the gameplay live stream. Make sure you watch the Simmers that have early access. I unfortunately don't have early access to the pack, so I can't give you early access videos, but there are so many other Simmers. I know Little Simsy has early access packs reviews that she comes out with on her YouTube channel. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you learned something new about the For Rent pack. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section of what you're most excited for about this pack, or some of the things that you are looking forward to with this pack when it comes out. But if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And with that, I will see you all on Monday.